Hello, I am live at the NRB. I love the movie saying that all week, and I have the opportunity of interviewing one of our dear friends, um, Loren Norris. I never, because I always have a nickname for him. That's why I'm struggling to say his name right because it's public, and this will be held accountable against me. But I love this dear man. Why do I love you?
Probably because I understand your voice enough to make you sound good.
Really good. So as you can tell, he is a sound technician, but he's also a producer, right?
Yes, and a podcast host.
So tell me exactly who you are and what you do.
So my name is J Loren Norris, and I am a story power coach. I spend most of my time working with people who are content producers, speakers, film people, audio technicians, working on how do you get your story to a small, concise delivery, not that 20-minute monologue that most people think is an introduction. But how do you say it in 90 seconds or less and make an impact on people?
And make an impact, yes.
But I can do that through the camera. I can do that through the microphone. But I do that best through the words that you speak.
Oh, and you literally coach them by making their story concise.
Yes. How do you leave out words that are unimportant and move beyond talking about yourself so that your audience comes in to say, how can what you just said help me?
Right. And take the emphasis on you and put it on how to help them.
Let me say it like this. When I was in sales training, they used to tell us all the time, nobody goes to Home Depot to buy drill bits. And I'm thinking to myself, well, where else would I get them? I mean, I do go to Home Depot to buy drill bits. And they say, yeah, but you don't want a drill bit when you buy a drill bit. I'm like, So how do I relate that to the gospel? Here's how it works. We just bought a new house, and the guy that built the shower built this beautiful ceramic tile shower, but it has no wall, and it has no door, and it has no place to put a shower curtain. So when you shower, the water is all over the bathroom. And so the first time I showered, I thought, the EMS is going to show up, and I'm going to be fat and naked laying next to the toilet with a crack in my skull. I don't want that. So I said to my wife, I'm going to put a half wall of glass there. So I go to Home Depot, and I said to the guy, I want to put a half wall of glass so the water stays in the shower. Because what I don't want is me fat naked. So the guy says, okay, well, tell me about where you're going to put the glass wall. I said, well, there's ceramic tile. He goes, oh. And it's on concrete. Oh, so you need a masonry bit. I didn't want a drill bit. I wanted a glass wall.
Yeah, I get it.
And so he showed me a $17 drill bit. I had to buy a $17 drill bit to put in the glass wall. I never wanted a drill bit. I wanted not to be on the floor.
Right.
And so often people want to preach the gospel, but what they want to preach is, here's the hope, here's the solution.
The end product.
And there's no way to know how to get there. What tools do I have to have? Well, you got to have holiness. You got to have discipline. You got to start over.
Very good.
And so when your worship teaches repentance, when your worship says, come into the kingdom and listen to the Father and speak to the Father, that's not what anybody's shopping for. But what they want is the result that happens after they do that. And so worship is a drill bit.
And you know, he just spoke my language because he's watched me worship, and so he just spoke my language. You know, there's so many facets to you because you've been part of Christian Women in Media. I'm so glad we got the banner behind us because you help us as the women. He's the man in these many amazing women's lives. We depend on him so much because he helps to get our message out very clearly. What have you seen? How much we have grown and how much media has evolved?
Well, it's not just the evolution of media, it's the evolution of people who are in ministry and the evolution of people who are in media.
Yeah.
And so when I first came around, about 12 years ago, CWIMA, when I first came around, it was through Dr. Tracy Mitchell.
Yes.
And she introduced me to a lot of people, and I met the superstars, if you will, like Joni Lamb and Susie, and the list goes on and on, worshipers like Marina. And so many people who are already at the top of their game. They're already so well known. Everybody knew who they were and what they were doing. Sometimes it was like rubbing elbows with the very important. But what I've been able to do is, especially as a guy outside the circle, to introduce young women that I meet in ministry. Like Shantae McKinney that I just brought a couple of weeks ago, and I met her at another book signing event, and we had a great conversation. And she said, I need mentors like this. And I'm like, I would love to charge you to be your coach,
Yes.
but I'd really rather plug you into a place
Yes.
where women can surround you and grow you up
Yes.
in women's ministry,
Yes.
because that's a different beast even than what I do.
Exactly.
I will be glad to coach and consult and produce for you, but what I really want to do is make sure that you're equipped and immersed. And that's what I've seen CWIMA do for the last dozen years, is really equip and immerse women in ministry in a way that men can't do. My mother was a great single mom.
Yeah.
Moms can't dad. And men can be great mentors and ministers, but men can't minister to women in ministry in the same way that women can. And that pathway to maturity, that opportunity, the rubbing elbows. If you could see the people around the booth that I'm looking at right now, I met Dr. June Hunt because of this group. And so many others that have become a part of my life. Even Brenda Crouch, friends of mine now because of this group. And my wife is now plugged into all of them as well. So it has been an incredible ministry growth opportunity.
Partnership.
And then how it's transposed with ministry and media.
Yeah.
So I remember the first NRB that I went to, and Tracy Mitchell and I sat in the booth where they had the TriCaster and all the big cameras and all the big lights. And then I walked outside, and Wendy Pett was doing an interview, and we used a cell phone and a camera mic. And I thought, okay, so which one of these is real media? And the answer is yes, all of them. Because when I traveled to the Congo, there's a whole lot more people standing in the streets watching their cell phones on Facebook and WhatsApp than there are sitting around media centers and movie theaters. And so this mode of ministry is just as powerful and palatable, and in some places more accessible than anything else.
Is the right word. It's always a pleasure. We don't get to do this very often. I think
we don't. I think it's the first time.
The very first time. And I know there's more to come. Loren's information will be in the post, so look him up. And we're so thankful that he is a part of Christian Women in Media, and so thankful for his gift. He and his wife, the gift that they bring to us. We love them dearly. And all I want to say to you is stay tuned. There's more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.